Let's shift our focus now to the deepening agony of thousands of workers of organizations that have been hit hard by the stop work order by the U.S. government, an order that has also left thousands of beneficiaries of critical programs funded by the U.S. government in uncertainty.
As President Trump calls for USAID to be shut down.
It's absolutely obscene, dangerous, bad, very costly. I mean, virtually every investment made is a con job.
Multiple sources have confirmed to CBS News that all USAID overseas missions will be shut down and all staff members will be recalled by Friday. These sources tell CBS News that newly appointed USAID Deputy Administrator Pete Morocco made the order, adding that the military will conduct the evacuations if staff members do not leave their respective countries.
Hello and welcome to today's special analysis on your favorite podcast, Jenga Kenya TV. I'm your host, Shadrach Kakai. And today we are diving deep into the analysis of a topic that is both timely and crucial for the future of Kenya, Africa, and our global relations. Today we turn our focus to the executive orders from the United States, US President Donald Trump, and how they will impact the future of America-Africa relations. But more importantly, we are going to explore how Africa, especially Kenya, can thrive, grow, and become self-reliant by taking full advantage of this changing dynamic. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's have this important conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin with a simple analogy. Picture this. You have a grown man, 60 years old, and still living under his father's roof. Every day, he's waiting for his parents to feed him. And he hasn't learned on how to make his own ways in the world. He's content, very comfortable, and willing to grow up. Now, Africa is like that man, mature, full of potential, but for a long time, relying on external sources for support, much like a child depending upon his parents. But here is the catch. Trump's executive orders, along with his America First agenda, are like the tough love of the parent, who is saying to you, "My son, you are old. It's time for you to get out of the house and stand on your own 2 feet. It's time for Africa to step up, shed its dependency, and start building a future based on its own strength, not on foreign handouts." There is an important lesson, ladies and gentlemen, that we need to understand. Tough times create tough people, and the opposite is true too. When everything is handed to you, when there are no challenges, no adversity, people become so weak and so lazy. When we look at the American First policy, we see that it's a wake-up call for Africa. The days of waiting for aid and relying on foreign assistance need to come to an end. This is the moment for Africa to rise up and put to work the natural blessings it has been gifted with. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Africa has mineral wealth, abundant mineral resources, very fertile land, and a very, very favorable weather conditions. The rains falls freely, the sun shines generously. These are things many nations will dream of having, but it's time to stop now, for us to stop waiting for external assistance to unlock that potential. Kenya and the rest of Africa must learn how to work with what we already have, making use of our own resources, labor, and innovations. Let's take a breakdown of some of Trump's executive orders and explore how they can benefit Kenya and the rest of Africa by pushing us to develop our own systems for survival. Let's consider order number 1 on my list, the global gag rule, which is also called the Mexican City policy. This executive order restricts the United States from funding the international organization that promote abortion or even offer abortion services. While this has been a point of contention globally, it opens an opportunity for African nations to take charge of their own health and family planning policies. Kenya, for example, could strengthen its own healthcare systems, ensuring that we create sustainable, homegrown solutions for our public health. Executive Order number 2, according to my list. The Executive Order on cutting foreign aid, according to my list. President Trump aimed to reduce aid to countries that didn't meet certain political and economic benchmarks. For Kenya and the broader African continent, this should be seen as a challenge, an opportunity to stop relying on foreign donations and focus on developing our own local industries, agriculture, and even technology. Instead of waiting for assistance, we can focus on building local capacity to generate wealth and improve livelihood of our people. The executive order on economic growth through deregulation. This order sought to reduce regulations for businesses. While this was focused on the United States, Africa can take note. Kenya and other nations can create a more conducive environment for entrepreneurship, cutting down on unnecessary red tape, and fostering an environment where local businesses and innovations can thrive. So it's time for us to take our destiny into our own hands and make it easier for our people to create jobs and even wealth. Executive Order number 4, Buy America, Hire America Executive Order. And it's working, ladies and gentlemen. For our black brothers are no longer being admitted into the forces. So Buy America, Hire America Executive Order. In this, Trump emphasizes that the United States should prioritize American workers' products. While this may be tough for African countries relying on trade with the US, it's a wake-up call. It's time for the African countries to prioritize local production, build local industries, and even reduce over-reliance on foreign imports. The wealth that we currently spend abroad can be reinvested in our own economies, stimulating job creation and even local industries. Let's take this as a blessing in disguise. Now, I know some of you may be wondering, how can this policy be seen as a blessing in disguise? Well, Africa's over-reliance on foreign aid has kept us from growing into the powerhouse we are meant to be. And it's no secret. It has kept us very comfortable, but that comfort has bred complacency. With Trump's executive orders, the reality checks in. But that reality check is also an opportunity for Africa to focus on the resources we already have. Kenya, for example, is blessed with natural resources, minerals, fertile land, abundant water, and a strategic location for trade. We don't need to wait for the West to build us. We have the potential to build ourselves. The challenge now is to invest in our own people, in our local infrastructure, and in creating industry that will thrive in the global market. What are some of the lessons that we can buy home or bring home? What are these lessons? First, Africa needs to put its people first. Just as Trump's executive order prioritizing Americans' interests, African leaders must stop relying on aid and focus on making their countries more self-sufficient. We have to develop our local solutions to our local problems. Secondly, Africa needs to focus on creating an environment, a conducive environment where local businesses, agriculture, and industries can flourish. African leaders are making it very difficult for its own people to innovate and even to grow, making them very poor just to rely on handouts. We can take full advantage of our own resources, from agriculture to technology to creating wealth and even that benefits everyone. Secondly, Africa needs to focus on creating an environment where local businesses, agriculture, and industries can flourish. It is the African leaders who are making it very difficult for its own people to flourish and even grow. We can take a full advantage of our own resources, from agriculture to technology to creating wealth that benefits everyone. Don't you think so, ladies and gentlemen? And lastly, we must educate the next generation to be self-reliant, resilient, and forward-thinking. We must learn that tough times shape tough people. The soft times of relying on handouts have passed. And now it's time to work hard and build a future for Africa where we are in control of our own destiny. And in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the strict executive orders from Trump may seem so harsh, but they offer Africa a golden opportunity. It's time for us to look inward, to harness our resources, and to start building a sustainable future for ourselves. The days of relying on aid are over, and now it's time for us to grow up, stand on our own feet, and become the leaders we were always meant to be. Africa, the ball is in our court. Kenya, the ball is in your hands. Let's rise to the If you enjoyed today's analysis, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we wish to grow together. Like and share this episode. Let's keep this conversation going, and together we can build a stronger, more self-reliant Africa. I've been your host, Shadrach Kakai, and you have been watching Jenga Kenya YouTube TV. Until next time, stay focused, stay strong, and keep working to build the Africa we deserve. See you in our next video.